So it's almost a decade and a half that you have been at Uttam School, and you're a CA person.
Yes.
A number person, an edupreneur who has been then moved to acquire Zeber School, and then now you have your own school at Bodak Dev. What is your journey? What do you see in schools, and what is your vision for children that are in your schools? What do you want them to be?
In schools, we have seen a tremendous improvement as a sector. When I joined, the school, Uttam School, we did not have a single AC. Today, the entire school is AC. In last 10 years, I would say the school sector has improved by leaps and bounds, and it is not driven by anything else except the aspiration of parents for their children. We are seeing that Indians spend topmost priority is education, be it college, be it school, be it after school activities, or be it tuition classes or anything. The whole idea is that every parent wants to have a better life for their children than what they had seen of their own, and India has come out of poverty because of education. This attracts me as a sector, that one sector which can improve the India as a country is education.
So that's how you travel from, but then being a CA and then coming to school, how does it help? What background? I mean, how does number come in when you talk about school?
So that is an integral problem. What we are seeing in the school sector is that either you are a great innovative educator, or you run a profitable school.
Oh.
So they are like mutually not congruent,
Yeah.
as in either you will see rarely a school which is innovative, which is creative, which is addresses to the needs of the time, and yet is a profitable school. So what I hear come in as a top view person who has a macro level understanding of the organization from the numbers perspective, and my job is not to harm the creativity,
Right.
and
right.
so maintain the creativity and having a profitable and a sustainable future. So what we see a lot of schools across the country, and there are boutique schools which have like
Yes.
less than 1,000 capacity, and they are grossly unviable schools. They're not scalable. They will not bring India out of poverty. They
Okay.
will at best bring a few Indians, give a quality education,
Right.
accessible to quality education. However, if you see at mass, today we have a total student number of close to 2,100 students, 7,100 students.
Oh.
And when I joined 15 years ago, our total was 1,250 students, and 1,250 was the installed capacity. The actual use capacity was about 1,100. So there were 150 vacancies lying in the school, even when there was a lot of demand, because there was no process to fill in the demand. So what we see is inefficiencies in a sector in which there is a huge demand.
Right.
So there is where a person, CA, is required. This is what we do in all sectors. The CAs get employed in, for example, railways, like the railway minister is a CA.
Yeah.
For example, the power minister is a CA. So we go by numbers, and we are trained to not get emotionally involved when we have to take decisions.
So that kind of helps to balance the school when it comes to implementing new processes.
Yeah, so I'm like the yin yang, I'm the balancing force in the entire sector. What I'm saying, I'm not an educationist, even though people refer to me as educationist. I'm not a B.Ed. I do not have any formal education on how to educate. But what I have is a lot of experience, and I was a student of this own school. I
Right.
know what customers want, what do parents want. As I am a parent of this own school, I have been a student here, I know what, and apart from it, I know how a school can afford or manage to do this. Now the whole idea of implementation, how we actually deliver, is something which the academic team does, and that is something which I credit largely actually delivery to the team that we have.
So when you came in, it was a state board school,
Yes.
and now it's
CBSE.
CBSE.
Yes.
Does board really make a huge impact when parents take decisions of their child's future?
Yes, so that is a interesting analogy I give to everybody. So if I had been in textile
Right.
industry,
Right.
and if my company was making polyester,
Huh.
I would change it to cotton. Because right now the demand is cotton.
Yeah.
India is getting prosperous, and we like cotton is comfortable. It is very costly than polyester. It has
Yeah.
less life. It is costly to buy, maintain. It has stains. It doesn't stain free. But that is the same thing when any country prospers. The demand changes.
Yes.
So the demand pattern changes. So this classic example when India was in 1981, when India opened its doors to liberalization, many companies thought that Indians will be now open to washing machines, and they started installing factories for semi-automatic washing machines.
Yes.
And Indians are Indians. They are very unpredictable as a country. We bought fully automatic washing machines. There was a huge capacity constraint in full production of fully automatic washing machines, while there was an oversupply of semi-automatic washing machines. So the difference between semi-automatic and fully automatic washing machine was just how the water is drained pretty
yeah.
much. Everything else is same. Now the same thing happens when India moved on in education from Gujarati medium to English medium, English medium to central board. Now we are moving towards central board to international board. Had we have no entrance exam constraint, I'm sure there would be more demand for international education. However, since majority of centralized admission systems like NEET and JEE and like engineering and doctors become, I have a artificial preference for CBSE. CBSE schools were going to be in demand. That is what I foresaw 10 years ago, and we shifted to central board. What I foresee is like, here's what I do. I don't go and take classes. I don't go and monitor teachers. I don't recruit. I get involvement in recruitment of teachers. What I do, get involved in strategy formation of the school. And when I'm free, I look at the trends in which the country is growing, how demands are changing. So a few years ago, there was this interesting analogy I found out in auto gear. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if you wanted to buy an auto gear car, there were only two options in mid-size. Hatchback, there was one i10, and there was one semi-automatic car from, I think, Honda. Today, every single car in Maruti has auto gear. So what changed in 5 years? What changed? People could afford more. Traffic was there annoying.
Yeah.
So people wanted car which shifts gears automatically. Same thing what we are looking in education is, we look at air-conditioned schools. So like I said, when I joined, there was not a single air-conditioned entire school. Today, every single square inch of the school is air-conditioned.
But is it really important? I mean, is that what parents ultimately look out for when they enroll their children, about the facilities in the school?
Yeah, it is very important. So as a country develops, first we have the Indians who needed roti, kapda and makan.